Do you know that China is one of the fastest developing countries in the world with one of the best economies, almost, will I say, as good as the US economy? And China invests a lot into research, science, technology, humanities, mathematics, and a lot, everything concerning technology. China invests a lot in education. Today on this channel, we have someone who has been studying in China, who will be sharing with us some of the benefits of schooling in China. He's going to be sharing with us the tips on how to get fully funded offers as an international student in China, documents to prepare, when to apply, and so many other information that you didn't know about studying in this great country. Sit down and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and hit the like button and subscribe button again if you haven't subscribed, and share this immediately you're done watching this video to people who you think would find this video very helpful. Relax and enjoy. So welcome everybody once again. Like I said, we have a scholar in our midst who has been in China and who has lots of experiences and interesting information to share with us today. So you're welcome, Dr. Victor. I'll call you Dr. Victor because I know that in a short while that would be official. So please, can you introduce yourself to the audience? Tell us about your name. You can choose not to talk about your school name, that's fine. Just tell us what you're doing, PhD or master students. Just tell us about yourself, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Grace. I'm right.
I'm still far.
Also, in a short time, you'll also be Dr. Grace to be official. So
yeah, by God's grace.
Okay, thank you for having me here.
Okay.
I'm glad to share my experience and also about studying in China. I'm actually Victor Samson. I'm a final year PhD student in one of the federal universities or one of the government-owned universities in China. And my major is in agricultural resources and environment.
Wow, good.
And I've been in China for 3 years now. I'll be rounding up soon. So it's been a great experience studying in China, studying a strange land, and having the opportunity to pursue your dreams without spending your own money. It's a great opportunity. Doing great research.
I can imagine.
So, yeah.
I learned you people have lots of money. Are you guys already trying to struggle world power with us in the US? Because
actually.
So can you tell us some of the interesting things about studying in China?
Okay, first of all, China, as you will say, they're a developing nation. But coming from Africa, and when you get to a place like China, you wonder what's developing about this country. They actually developed already.
Yeah, that's what my friend said too.
Wow. You see the functional public transport system, the speed train, very high speed train, subways, and very just beautiful cities, beautiful streets, clean cities. Clean roads. The universities are so equipped with equipment. You see big buildings in the universities, all are laboratories, and they're really a developed nation. So I think China is up there, and they have so much fundings, like you said, like you've read also. In fact, if you check most Scopus indexed articles, you notice most papers coming out are always from China.
So intimidating. The way you publish things is intimidating.
When you think of an idea, you are trying to construct maybe a research plan in your brain, and you just go online, you see these guys have done it maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Very true, I agree. I've experienced that. So tell us what it attracted you to study in China. Was it the free? Just tell us about some things, the beautiful things about schooling there.
Okay, actually, one of the things that interested me was their investment in agriculture. Good. China, long before now, I've always had a plan to school in China because of their investment in agriculture. You see, they do current research. They're actually leading in most researches in agriculture.
I agree, even more than the US. I agree.
Yeah. Although the quality at times, so they see something US has maintained over time.
Yeah.
But China is catching up, and that's the way they churn out articles and research and evidence of funding. for researches, and so those things made me have that interest in China. That wow, it'd be a good opportunity to learn here and to study here. And so that's why I gave it a try. Of course, it wasn't the only place I tried. I tried others. I would have preferred the US actually, but I don't know why I had this attachment to China then. I actually had the attachment to. In fact, when I shared it with someone, then when I got the admission in 2020, the person was like, "Oh, this has always been your goal to go to China for your PhD." So it's been a great time, and
wow. So graduate studies in China is mostly funded, right?
Yeah, it's mostly, in fact, for international students, a greater proportion are fully on scholarship.
Funded,
just a few.
Can you tell us what the funding? Okay, tell us about some of the funding opportunities. Like I know I got into the Chinese government scholarship sometime in 2021, but I couldn't continue with that admission because some things came up. So can you tell us what does the funding, apart from the Chinese government scholarship, what other scholarships are there open for international students in China?
Okay, there are so many scholarships open for international students here in China. Wow. Like you said, we have the government scholarship, commonly called the CSC. That's the Chinese government scholarship. There's also the ANSO scholarship. It's actually called the Alliance of National and International Science Organization. And it's the highest paying scholarship in China.
Oh, actually. I thought the Chinese government scholarship was the highest paying.
No, the ANSO is the highest paying scholarship in China, actually. Yeah. And then we also have other forms of scholarship. There's the USTC, the UCAS, that's University of China, University of Chinese Academy of Science, University of Science and Technologies, China. Ooh. And we also have provincial scholarships. China has several provinces, and most provinces also have their own form of scholarship.
And they all fund international students?
Yeah, they fund international students. And some universities also have scholarships for international students. But of course, the coverage varies based on the kind of scholarship. While some universities pay tuition, accommodation, insurance, and maybe even stipend monthly. Others, maybe they just pay just the tuition and accommodation, and you have to cater for yourself. While some others, they may just give you maybe a one-time payment per year. You have to carefully check the kind of the offer each university gives.
Very important.
And also there's this MOFCON scholarship. It's actually Ministry of Commerce, People's Republic of China. It's also a very good scholarship. They do it for different countries too. It's from China.
I think they have so much money.
Wow. They have so much money.
Wow.
They have so much money.
So why are students not exploring China then? Because it's okay. We're going to come to that, the challenges. Let's leave that for now. So, so for now, I would want to also know, as a student, are you allowed to work outside the school? Because here in the US, when you're admitted, you can only work inside the school. Your visa allows you to work only inside the school. But as a student in China, can you work outside the school?
Yeah, for China, most times no. Except if that job is a form of internship.
Okay.
Because your visa is actually a study visa. So you're not allowed to officially work outside of school. Although some persons work, they teach, China is not an officially, the official language in China is not English. Some persons still teach English. They do some of those things as side jobs. Some train other people, maybe in sports. And some persons engage in business activities. But must not take your time from school. Except internships.
But is your spouse allowed to work?
Yeah, for some it depends. The issue is not just about being allowed to work. The thing is, are there jobs? You're having a population of over 1 billion. The first time I got to China, I realized, the population is real. So many people even looking for jobs too. And then if you don't understand the language, it's not so easy. to get a job. So it's not just about being allowed to work. But if you understand the language and you are good, a spouse can actually work. Also,
yeah, because I had a cousin who his wife was working. Yes, I remember she was working when they were together. He was doing a PhD, the wife was working, but she could speak the language. I think that was a plus. Yes, I think learning Mandarin is really a good thing.
Yeah, but it's a good thing.
It's okay. Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, I said, in fact, most of Chinese, they prefer foreigners teaching them English. So some schools, if you can speak Mandarin and they have the opportunity to employ you as an English teacher, they will prefer to take a foreigner than to take a Chinese.
Because that's someone that speaks English originally. Yeah. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. So these scholarships you mentioned, for example, here in the US, our scholarship opportunity opens between August and September. That's when application season opens for fall the next year. So for China, what time of the year does the application season open up for China?
Okay, for China, they have 2 seasons actually, and it depends on the kind of scholarship. But generally, it opens from November to February for some November to March. But most other scholarships, like the university-based scholarships, the provincial scholarships, they open from January to April of every year.
January to April. Oh, so this is a good time for people to start preparing. Okay.
Yeah, this is a good time to start preparing.
January to April. Okay, that's very good. Okay, so what are the essential documents that international students need to have to study in China? Okay,
I would say the most important document is your international passport. Because before you can
I forget to mention that.
Before you can even register for the website, to open the website and maybe create an application file, you must use your international passport, and the validity must be 6 months. Yeah.
Oh no, in the USA you don't even need to have an international passport to get admission.
For China, you need it because in creating your page or your portal, the first thing they ask you is your international passport, the number, and they need to have at least 6 months validity.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you must have your international passport. That's the first thing. Okay. And also your transcript is very important. At times, for some schools or some scholarships, they will tell you to notarize your transcripts.
Yes, I did that. I remember.
Yeah. For some, you don't need to do that. All you need to do is, but you need to check carefully with the kind of scholarship and the requirements. Yeah. So besides the international passport and transcript, you also need your certificate. For a master's holder going for a PhD, you need both your BSc and master's certificate. But at times, your most recent certificate is more important. So for a PhD applicant, your master's certificate may be more important.
Interesting. Here in the US, your bachelor's is the most important certificate.
For China,
if you have, but your bachelor's is one of the most important here in the US.
For China, you actually need because at times when trying to navigate, you may be able to upload just one document in that space.
Okay.
And that's why you use your highest qualification.
Yeah.
You use your highest qualification. Okay. So, and outside that, you also need 2 letters of recommendation.
Is it for masters or for PhD?
Both for masters and PhD, you need 2 letters of recommendation. Some of these requirements are general.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come to some of the specific ones also soon. So you need 2 letters of recommendations from at least 2 professors or associate professors.
Wow. Okay.
And you upload it yourself. It's not like the US where maybe you send them a link.
They send. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah, you have to upload it yourself.
So you get to see the letter.
Yeah, you get to see the letter. You get to know who wants you to really get a scholarship.
Very good.
Yeah. Also, you need a study plan. Now, this is more specific for a PhD. Okay. It's very important because the study plan could determine if you get selected for that scholarship. For instance, if your study plan is off the research area of that university or of most faculty members, nobody will select you. Because how it works in China is that after you apply for most scholarships, after you apply, the school receives the application. On day of deadline, they select students based on the minimum academic requirement.
Okay.
And then they forward those students that meet that requirement to the department.
Okay.
In that department, all faculty members look at your application, and their keen interest will be on your study plan, which is like your research proposal. So those who feel your plan aligns with theirs, or they feel you have a potential, they will be the ones to select you and maybe schedule an interview with you. So, and that's why it's very important, especially for a PhD. The study plan is very,
but
very
for a master's, I don't think is compulsory.
For a master's, it depends on the kind of school. You know, the Chinese, they require even publication at times from master's students. So at times, it's also important for a supervisor to fund your research. He will want to be sure that that research is worth it also. Okay. Yeah, so for some master's students, it's important.
So does it mean that you have to get a supervisor before you have to send cold emails to these professors before writing the study plan or before applying? Is that compulsory?
Okay. For some scholarships, it's not compulsory. For some, they'll tell you it's an advantage, like the CSC, the Chinese Government Scholarship. Yeah, it's actually an added advantage.
Okay.
It's not compulsory, but it's an added advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, you may need to send a cold mail. In fact, you may need to get an acceptance letter from that professor.
Yeah.
So it's important to, in fact, for most CSC now, you must get that. Based on the level of competition and the number of applicants. So for you to stand out, you need to get such things. So it's good you could mail some professors and know the kind of research they are doing and share your own plans with them first.
Very important. And I shared something recently on sending a cold mail. But that's very good. I think cold mail is something that every prospective graduate should know how to do, because it really helps a lot.
Yeah, it's like a cheat code, because if faculty members will select somebody, they will prefer to select someone who has reached out to them and who they have actually seen his potential. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, that's great. Okay, so you mentioned that we need the passport, our transcript, letters of recommendation, and the study plan if needed, because when I applied, I didn't have to write the study plan. I just had to get a professor. So once I had someone that was willing to have me, I started the process. And then what else do we need? Okay, I'm listening.
You need a police character certificate.
Okay.
Very important.
Okay.
Very important. You need that also. And usually they request for health certificate too.
Yes, I know. I remember doing medicals then in the federal medical center. Yes. Ooh.
And also at times your CV, although not compulsory, but most times your CV as well. And if you have publications, you may need to do that.
To add them.
Yeah. And recently, some scholarships, they require you write a statement about your view on China. Ooh. In fact, they are usually specific. They ask you what's your take on one China policy.
I think this is a new development.
Yeah. They ask that questions a lot.
Why?
They want to know what's your view about China, Taiwan, Macau, and Hong Kong.
Okay. Why are they behaving like our people over here? It's okay. That's fine then. That's okay. And then okay, I was going to ask, the medicals, do you do it before the admission, during the application time, or is it when you've gotten admission that you do the medicals?
Well, before applying, you have to submit your medical certificate. That's one. Then when you get the admission, before you get your visa, you will also still have to do that medical, especially if it's older than 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also when you get to China, you may still need to, depending on the school. For my university, I had to do it again.
Okay.
When I go to China,
You want to be sure you're not bringing COVID into China?
not just COVID, they want to be sure of your medical condition. You know,
They're
China work
medically
ethics is
fit.
very high. So they want to be sure you can cope. And also just so they know how to manage you in case certain things come up during your study. They know, oh, this is there already. This has been the
Yeah.
situation. They have your
Yeah.
history.
So for your own
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow, wow. This is really I'm just learning so many things today. So what other like tips can you give us, like things to avoid while applying or while reaching out to professors and all of that? Like when is the best time to reach out to them? What are some things, mistakes to avoid and all that?
Okay, majorly I'll start from the application. One of the tips to avoid rejection is it's good you pay attention to details. Yeah, for instance, the passport of a thing, you must ensure you have that 6 months validity. Else your application will be rejected. That's one. Then secondly, in as much as the study plan is important, it doesn't mean what you propose at application stage is what you end up doing. But what they look out for is your ability to think critically and to design some of these experiments. I must state something. In China is not like the US where maybe you'll be trained about on how to use certain equipment and you'll be taught thoroughly and so on. No. But China, you figure it out yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. When you get to the lab, your equipment or some of the manuals, the lab protocols are all in Chinese, and you have to figure it out yourself and do things yourself. So if you are not rugged, you may not fit in well, and you may not survive it here. So it's not easy.
Graduate school requires a level of tenacity and ruggedness, but studying in a country that doesn't speak your official language requires extra tenacity. I respect those of you who have a PhD in China. I respect you people a lot because I know, because I imagine what you face when you go to the shop, when you go to to day-to-day activities. Like, but it's really a good one. And also some of the things in your lab would be in China. You have to find your way around it and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the things you must avoid is telling lies in your CV. When you say I can do this, when you come to China, nobody will train you again. They believe you can do it, and you just give you the equipment. Go do this.
My goodness.
So, and if I've seen some persons lost their scholarships because they were not so useful in the lab, the supervisors had to terminate their scholarship and go to the school. Yeah, so you want to be honest. What you can do, you try to ensure you can do it or learn it. And also in sending cold mails, due to the time difference in China, there are some times that if you send cold mails, they will never get read. And normally the supervisors, especially if the mail is in English, they don't even like stressing themselves so much. So most of them will not even reply. So for you to get reply, you must ensure your cold mail is not too long, it's well crafted and not so long, and ensure you have read their most recent researches.
Important. Because very important.
You don't just come with maybe an old idea and you are saying, oh, I read this, and no, they've gone past some of those things. So you want to keep in touch with their current research.
Recent research. Yeah.
So another challenge that you may find, which is common actually, is navigating their websites and even getting their emails and so on. I won't lie to you, it's not easy because the websites are not in English, and when you translate at times to English or you open the English version, you may not get so much information.
Oh my God.
That would be very important. Yeah, so at times you may need to use direct translation.
Yeah. I remember that.
So navigating their websites and getting some of those things is not easy. So one of the ways you can do that is just to search for articles in your field of study and identify the schools of the corresponding author. Those corresponding authors are usually the professors in those universities. Another tip I would like to share is for PhD applicants, you should have a publication, at least, even if not a Scopus Index publication, but you should have a publication, because for China, one of the things that make them even accept international students is not because they don't have students Chinese students who are willing to maybe further their studies. No, they do have, but they want that contribution of an international student in terms of paper writing. You know, language, English is not their first language, so it's a bit challenging for some of them. So they want somebody who will contribute in regards to paper writing. And so they will want you to show that evidence. In fact, for some persons, if you don't have a CI publication, it's not easy getting it. And that's why you will notice most people from Pakistan and some of those Asian countries, they easily get Chinese scholarships.
Okay.
Than people from, So publication is good to publish, right?
Okay,
at least a paper from your master's thesis or from your bachelor's thesis.
Anyhow, just find a way to publish something.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, very important.
In fact, another tip I can give, even if you can't publish something there, try to write a literature review and publish it somewhere.
Okay, that's very good. Thank you very much for this. This is a very important tip. People shouldn't just graduate and go and relax. If they hope to further their education abroad, they should make effort to, do something that shows you are interested in academics. Yeah. Very important. Okay, so what other tip do you have for us? Because I don't know if I have more questions to ask. I remember application fee. How much is the application fees for applying, or is it free?
Okay, for most Chinese government scholarships, it's free.
Oh, good.
Yeah, for some university-based scholarships, it's free. But like my school is also, you pay for some of them about 500 renminbi. That's 500 yuan.
Okay, yuan. Okay.
Yeah, for some universities, like my university here, you pay after you are accepted. You don't pay at application stage. So if you are not accepted, you don't have to pay anything. But if you are accepted before you enroll, you have to pay the application fee.
Okay, that's great. That's great then. Okay, and the application fee is something so expensive that people can afford.
Based on the exchange rate, it's affordable.
Okay.
If I have to use Nigeria as an example, it's just slightly above 100,000. So I think it's affordable.
Okay.
I want to think it's affordable.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was also going to ask about, not application fee. Something else came to my mind about the application process. Basically, people should gather their materials. I remember. Do you need to submit an official transcript from the school when you are applying, or is it after you've been admitted?
No. In fact, most times you don't submit official transcripts at all. That's why most of them request you notarize your transcript. Your student copy is okay.
Yeah.
Once you notarize that student copy, for me, I didn't submit. Yeah. In fact, the only document, I think official document, original, which they cited when I resumed was my certificate.
Certificates, okay.
Yeah. Other documents, your transcript is not so. They are okay with the student's copy.
Okay.
Yeah, provided you notarize it, they're okay with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Then, sorry, before I forget, some scholarships like the Chinese government scholarship, you may need to apply to. The Chinese government is one body, and you may need to apply to a partner university separately before applying for the scholarship.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you need to get admitted in the school first.
Yeah, some of them, you may not even get admission, you just apply. For some schools, like my school, when you apply to the school, if you indicate Chinese government scholarship, it's the school that will nominate you or that will submit your application. But for others, you may need to make separate applications.
Okay, so it all boils down to finding out what is obtainable there.
Yeah, exactly. They'll specify it in their advert.
Okay, good. So for master student, the stipends that are paid to master student or PhD student, is the stipend enough to pay your rent, feed you, and take care of your need without you having to think of what to do and all of that basic need
Oh,
necessities?
okay. Now this depends on the kind of scholarship. For the ANSO and Chinese government scholarship, the master's stipend it's enough, it's sufficient actually to take care of your needs. Yeah,
Okay.
because China generally they are a producing nation, so the standard of living is, I think, it's very affordable in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the stipend is very, it's sufficient. In fact, for the master student on Chinese government scholarship and ANSO, their stipend is higher than most people in most PhD students in under provincial scholarships and university scholarships.
Oh wow. Great.
Yeah, so it's higher. And then for some universities, I said earlier that your choice also, those are some of the things you look out for. There are some universities where maybe they may just pay 800 RMB per month. That may be small. For some, they may not even pay your accommodation.
Yeah,
And
you
for
have to pay
some,
for the stipend.
yes, like some provincial scholarships, what happens is that maybe they allocate a particular amount for you as a student. So
Okay.
what they do is to deduct the tuition and the accommodation fee, and then whatever is left is what they give to you
Pay
as your
to.
stipend. Yeah, so
Okay.
you want to divide such yourself. You may want to look at their website, how much is their tuition fee for international students, and how much will be left. And also, for some universities, they don't even pay, or they just pay very little. Recently, I interacted with somebody, and when he told me the amount they pay, I was wondering, how are you surviving? And you have to bear in mind that you won't be allowed to work. So it's not just about, oh, I got a scholarship. You want to check the
What kind
coverage of that scholarship. Yeah,
scholarship is
yeah,
this? Wow,
yeah.
interesting.
For my school, they pay very well, so it's not
Good.
bad.
Well, I think this
Yeah,
is a really good place to start for people. I have so many friends here in the US who schooled in China before coming here for a PhD. They did masters in China. So many, I know up to 4 or 5 persons now who have the masters in China, and they always speak so well of the country, and that the exposure you get there is like a stepping stone to people who still want to come into the US. Some persons may want to
yeah,
remain in China, but some persons want to leave to other countries. But so far from all you've shared, I think would you really recommend applying to China? Maybe for a student who has been trying the US and has not been successful, would you recommend applying to China? And number two,
yeah.
are there specific areas that you say, oh, these ones are really well funded in China? I would want to know.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I also have a bias for the US. I think so. I would say if applying to China actually will place you in a more competitive place, because you get that research skill as a STEM student. For
Yes.
instance, you actually get that basic research skill from China,
Very true. My cousin
and in
finished from
fact,
China. Sorry to
even
cut. My cousin finished
papers.
from China, and as he was
Yeah,
finishing, he got two postdocs in the US. He got a postdoc in the
exactly.
UK. He got a professorship position in the Middle East. He's currently somewhere in the
Yeah,
UAE enjoying, and he just studied in China. So,
yeah.
in
So actually, China is known for that high research. Actually, they are really investing in research.
I
That's a
agree.
fact.
Yeah.
So it will actually place you in a more competitive position to compete for positions in the US. In fact, there's a professor in the US who I'm in touch with, and when I was supposed to work with him actually in the US, but due to some things, I had to stay here in China. And it was like, whoa, China is great. China has been really funding research. So that
Yeah.
kind of person, if you are applying to him, he knows China is actually investing in research, so he
We
won't
know,
doubt
we
your
know,
skills.
we know that you guys are doing challenging us now in research. We know.
So he won't doubt your skills actually.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that you can do. Then for Chinese scholarships, actually STEM programs are highly funded. Just a few persons get good funding in maybe business
Ah,
administration or fields related to business and so on. But you have more funding in STEM based courses.
okay, okay.
Like the ANSO scholarship I talked about is purely a STEM based program.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So, and they are well funded. Yeah.
And then one more question: do they have a placement on CGPA? Like, do they have a bias about your CGPA? Like, if you don't have B's, you can't apply, and all of that.
Okay. Well, let me say this. I think I forgot to say this. In China, the competition previously, years ago, maybe those things didn't really matter.
Yeah.
What mattered was your skill and what they feel you can bring in. But now, due to the competition, I think it matters a lot now. For some schools, in fact, after you apply, they will conduct a written exam for you guys on maths and maybe I think purely mathematics and so on. And
Wow.
after that, you still present. And also, there are some universities in China, they call them, is it double first class universities, like the Peking University, Tsinghua University. Some of those schools, if you don't graduate from the best university in your country, or at least the top 100 universities in the world, you won't be admitted to those schools, no matter how strong your CGPA is. Yeah,
Wow.
you can check those schools out, Tsinghua University, and then I think Peking University.
Okay.
Yeah, those two schools, they call them double first class universities. They are the highest ranked universities in China. So some of those schools, they have those requirements. So schools like that, even if you are coming in, your CGPA must be excellent. But generally, they just say have a good GP, maybe not less than a 2.2. But sometimes those things don't really matter,
So
especially if you've reached out to a supervisor already or you have paper. For them,
very
they care more if you are a first class student but no research outputs, they can't see any evidence. You won't matter as much as a third class student with so much research output.
output. Good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Do they also pay attention to internships and all of those things that you've done in the past, like your skill, like what you have done, your internship experiences?
Yeah, some of them pay attention to it, but like I said, the major focus here is actually your research output. Things
Output.
like paper, yeah, that matters a lot. In fact, it matters more to most of them. But of course, they check your CV and they see some of those things. It will place you in that competitive position. At least
Position.
it will give you the opportunity to be interviewed.
Yeah, that's true. That's very
Same with,
important.
in fact, sorry, same with your CGPA. For instance, I explained earlier that the international college, after you apply, they will gather those applications and those that meet the minimum academic requirements, they'll be the ones they will send for. So if your CGPA is actually poor, you may not be selected. Especially in the this year, for instance, China has so many PhD applicants and master's applicants, so many. And in my school, for instance, they are taking just few. There are some universities that previously they used to take up to 10 Chinese government scholars, maybe 15. But this year I had some are taking just three, some just two.
Department. Wow,
Yeah.
that's so small.
So the competition is getting higher.
Really
As
high.
more people are being aware, then there are minimum requirements. So it's coming.
Increasing, yeah. So, in conclusion, what are your final words for international students who want to explore the China pathway for grad school?
Okay, I think I'll say they're welcome to try. We'll be glad to have them join us here. Although it's not easy, it's challenging. At times
Yeah.
you wake up and you just feel like packing your bags and going back home. Especially the cultural shock. You know, China is a place where you work every day, you work both Sundays, Saturdays, and you work
What?
from morning
Ooh,
till night.
really?
Yeah,
Really? You guys
yeah,
work
you
a
work every
lot
day.
then.
We work
No.
a lot.
Wow.
And the pressure is actually real here. So,
So they
and
should come
at times it's
prepared.
not so easy. Yeah, come prepared. You need to prepare to from the airport. You start meeting people when you ask questions and they look at you and they say, "Oh, Timbudon," and you just get so frustrated. Or you ask them, they tell you, "Oh, Bujida," and things like that. You get so frustrated and you just feel like going back home. So you
Yeah.
need to get ready for such things. But besides that, it's actually a nice experience. I've had a nice experience, and I think I'll still recommend China to anybody any day, depending on your goals and why you want to go to graduate
Your
school.
why. I
I'll
think
still
everyone should
recommend.
have that
Yeah,
strong why. If not, because
yeah,
even if you're schooling in the most comfortable of place, you get tired and get discouraged one day. Like I used to do
frustrated.
recently.
Yeah.
I'm already in third year, but sometimes I ask myself questions like this thing I'm doing, like God, when will it end? so,
So
so
it's actually real. And another thing is Chinese students are very competitive. So you need to be ready to face such things.
interesting.
So, and
Okay.
one thing I can say is that if for us, we're actually usually outstanding. So, and they learn a lot from us also. So you don't
Yeah.
have to feel that pressure and feel, oh, I said publication. No, you can actually do it. There are persons who never had a paper. And when they got here, within their first 2, 3 years, they got good papers out. So you can also do it. Once you are determined and you know why you are going to graduate school, you don't not just I want to leave my country, I want to go see another country. No.
I just want
Once you
to
have a good
Japan.
focus, yeah, exactly. Once you have a good focus, then you blend in well and you do
Yeah.
great. And if you want to go to the US from China, there are many persons. So in fact, I have a friend who is going on the 31st of this month with his wife to the
Ooh,
US from
yeah.
China. So
Wow,
that's just
interesting.
what I
That's
say.
good.
So go get your
Yeah.
passport and start preparing your documents.
Thank you. Get your passport and start preparing to come to China. I hope you heard it. So it was a very nice time having you here, Dr.
Thank you.
Victor, and we can't wait to celebrate you. We hope to celebrate you here someday. And we also
Yeah,
hope,
thank you.
yeah, I look forward to that. And we also hope to see you in the US very soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so once again, thank you very much. And
Thank you too for
I
having
don't
me
know
here.
if people would need anyone would need your email maybe to talk to you. I would find out in the course of the maybe after when the video has been shared, maybe we could link your email to the comment section of this video so that anyone who wants to reach out to you for further questions can do that at your own discretion, please. Nobody's going to disturb you, nobody's going to rush you because I know you're very busy. So thank you
Uh,
for this honor and we really, really appreciate it. God bless
all
you.
right, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me here too.
Yeah,
And
all
do have
right.
a nice day.
And
Yeah,
you
thank you.
too. Yeah, bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
Did you love this video? Did you gain something from this? Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share with people in your community. Bye.